Yeah. All right. Bro, oh boy fixed everything already. All the holes in the wall, everything. Ah. Uh, let's see here. Hey, Mickey, did you see that the lamb and Dak headbutt? I guess like Lamb got off and he was hyped and then like didn't realize that I don't think he processed that Dak didn't have a helmet on and they like headbutted when Lamb had the helmet on. It was crazy, bro. Hold on a second.
I need to plug my phone in.
Yes, you do. All right, I love it. I love it when stuff works. Seems like everything's working so far.
Juice is at work. What?
Juice is a
Correct.
fucking
I'm
man.
at work.
I'm about to hang with Juice next weekend. I'm ready. Me and Juice
We're
fixing
all
it.
gonna. Hey, me and Bub are gonna be out there too.
Uh huh.
We can have Juice on the Sunday podcast.
What's
Yeah, I
up?
should have everything ready to go where we can actually sit down and do one this next weekend.
That
I'd
would be
actually be
fucking
hella
dope.
down.
No cap. We could, if it worst come to worst, we could always just set up in the room. You know what I mean?
We'll make it
Sunday's
happen.
gonna
You know
be
what I mean?
dope.
We'll make it
Oh,
work.
we got plenty of time, dog. But like this weekend, we're shooting it at Drift Expo, so we're not gonna be live, so it doesn't matter. But that kind of helps us also, you know. Let's go. Mental health it is, bro.
Man, look, this is the little venue over here. Got the bar. Feel me? A little stage. You got the VIP area up there. We got where we make the hookahs and then the kitchen.
Is it not busy tonight or the beginning of the night?
Well, we have today. Well, yesterday and tonight, we have a college event where UCLA kids come, they drink, they party, and then they leave, and then we're open for like regular business. That's why if you see
Gosh,
in that area right there, it's all covered up with like little blinds. Like I'll show you.
Oh, okay, I see it.
that place is nice though. Looks
That place
dope.
looks tight, yeah.
So this place right here is our VIP.
Yeah, it looked like a roller rink at first, but I was like, nah, that's too small.
Bar. It's a hookah. So right here we'd have like all of our regular customers that are coming in today. We have that. This is where LeBron and them.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Little
Okay.
upstairs spot. I like that window.
This is where like the
That's
college
right.
kids are dancing and shit. And then yeah.
That's fucking tight. Let's go.
And then we also have like sometimes we have tables and shit here when we have big ass
Oh
events.
man, that place is big.
Damn.
Yeah. All this filled
Oh,
up.
I got you, Marissa. I'm sorry.
And then yeah.
You should be unmuted, Marissa.
Thank you.
Your son's coming up to your door.
Thank
All right.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody. Welcome. Monday was a little bit of a shit show as far as the live part. I apologize first and foremost. On my side, it was a shit show, but honestly, it's just because I didn't have anything unpacked and I was very unprepared. Now we got the internet switched over to our account. It seems like this Wi-Fi card still sucks ass. But the good news is I'm gonna run the wire downstairs. I was waiting for him to add the trim on my door right here because the trim was off and shit. So he redid everything today. It's all set. I can start running the wire. But yeah, mental health, 1117. I'm here with the gang as always. There's always people here. We're always running it up one way or another. I can't cam up tonight, unfortunately. I won't be able to cam up right now directly because I haven't found the little mini tripod. Go figure. I need one little piece, but I will find it so that everything is all set. quick announcement. Evil Season didn't happen last week, but we are pre-recording it this week on Sunday. It will release sometime around Monday or Tuesday, and that'll probably be it for this week. We won't do a free flow Friday probably on Friday. We more than likely won't. I just just to be heads up on that, we'll probably take a break this week. It is our Friendsgiving week, and everyone's gonna be here and stuff. So I know that we're gonna be more interested in hanging.
Everyone's gonna be here in person instead of over at Discord.
So, but we still will probably be active in Discord, so you're always welcome to join us. Community Book Club.
Someone's page, leave it on.
Yeah. CommunityBookClub.org. You can join us at any point. We're always welcome, day or night. We're here working, doing the damn thing with the thing. I'm gonna start off tonight just because it's been like a weird couple months for me. And Botany's having eggs and chorizo, and I'm just so jealous. I love eggs and chorizo. I love it. Yeah. So I finally got moved recently, and it was it was a weird phase for me the last couple months because I felt self-destruction happening. And I'm trying to hold it all together and make sure that everyone's solid, and we're trying to innovate and make everything bigger. It's hard, It's hard when you feel down or defeated. Like I literally felt so defeated over the last couple months, just trying to get into a place that would hold us over for right now until we do buy a house, which will be eventually. 6 months from now is the plan. So got moved in. Thank God also for, not only Julio, but everybody. Marissa, fucking Droey Moon, Little Money, Carlo, Bubba, Smokey, his kids, his wife, that Dalmatian. Everybody helped me. Dog, we had a group of Tyga showed up and there was bro, there was 20 people out there just helping you move everything into the truck. Dog, that shit was pretty epic on so many levels. I'm gonna unmute you here, FK, just that way you know. But yeah, that shit, it just ended up being really epic to me, and I felt incredibly blessed. A lot of stuff has been lifted off my shoulders, just getting all that, because I'm not a one task type of person, but when that's the kind of task that you just only focus on that. And my downtime is not trying to find a place, basically. All right, I can watch a movie, go to sleep, wake up, try to find a place again. Fuck, dog. It's so physically and emotionally exhausting. But I'm just glad that part is over. I definitely feel like the spiritual part of myself is just kind of hanging out now. All right, dog, you caught a W. It's going smooth. You can get back to regular scheduled programming. That's usually where I'm the best at thriving, is in that little area. So I'm excited because I know how big this shit is, and I'm just glad I didn't have to kind of take a step back or move away where I wouldn't be able to kind of touch bases with people as much as I want to. We're building fucking soundstage in Merced. We're building all these different layouts. We have a whole building that we've just been kind of chilling on. I've been waiting to move. So we now are officially building soundstage. Shout out to the government for giving me a huge grant that's gonna come any day, which we're gonna probably drop a good 20,000 into soundstage as far as building the set, doing it properly.
Nice.
Wires, all of that stuff. And we should have probably about 4 to 6 sets there. Plus, we'll have an actual place where we do Cyber Saturdays. So we'll have the performance stage. We have some of the equipment already for that. We'll get some more for a couple things. Shit's crazy, bro. Shit's crazy. I feel really blessed though, and I just wanted to kind of start tonight and talk a little bit because I know there's just a lot of stuff going on in everyone's life, and we all get W's and we catch L's collectively. If someone's down that day, we're all telling each other, "Fuck, bro, it's good, dog. You're gonna be good in a couple days. You're gonna be straight." And I always try to convince myself that that's true at times. But negative Nancy Rob comes in very, very quickly. So it's cool, man. I wanted to reach out and tell everybody I appreciate all the love and support, even the congrats, everything. It counts. It's a big W. And I'm just happy to be able to do Friendsgiving this weekend Have all the homies out. It's gonna be crazy. Bonnie, all these fools is popping out, dog, and we do it every year. So next year when we're all planning it again and everyone's talking, you're gonna go, damn, dog. Remember last year? Like we did.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so that's cool, man. I'm out here. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Obviously, a different state than a fucking week ago. Last week was crazy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's like Friday and Saturday was frightening.
Yeah, man. Within a week, you went from, bro, I'm about to move out of state to moving north of fire. To stay kind of near where you were. Shut up, bro. He been barking at me for 10 minutes, by the way.
I love that dog. That's my homie right there, bro. What was really cool today is to bring the puppies out and show the guy that when you pick the female, you bring the females out and they're all so cool, bro. They're like have all their own little sassiness and like they're hopping around and shit. They're fucking bad, bro. And like that old boy was like
different personalities, man. The territorial bully, the happy-go-lucky, the one that gets stepped on 7 times.
The bastard. There's one of those out there, I think. There was one of the males who was just so vocal, bro. I got old boy to take him the other day.
That's so shit.
I was like, this one's awesome, bro. He's really vocal and fun, which he was. But he's just like, he'll see you and just start barking at and like yelping. Come out here and pet me and play. And I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna play for 9 hours, puppy. I can't do it. All right. Now lay down on that pillow.
Damn, bro, I worked all day, puppy. What the fuck did you do?
Show ate kibble and took naps. What the fuck? But yeah. If anybody feels like sharing their week or just kind of the idea,
shit, I'd like to speak because I usually don't do that.
Let's go, Juice.
Well, fuck, for the past couple of weeks, you feel me? Been in my head a lot. That's something I do. I usually tend to like push away the people close to me when I get in my head. And just want to say thank you to all y'all. You know what I mean? You guys always continue to show love whenever I'm not feeling it, whenever I'm not in it mentally. Like y'all just fucking find a way, or like always have that fucking family environment to always like bring out that, like make me forget about the negativity, man. And these past couple of days, man, I've just been in my head, no sleep. I don't know if you can tell, but man, that shit, I'm just in my head, bro. Like press, like I don't know how to.
If you don't mind me asking, not to cut you off, what's it about, man? Because we all got a topic that we run through 100 times when we hit the pillow, right? Like what is it? We talking females? We talking life, money? What is that?
A lot.
Do like a little bit of everything, bro. You know what I mean? I just got through a real fucked up situation relationship wise, and then I had to move up my life entirely, bro. I moved out of Fresno, came back, but that is what it is, you know what I mean? But it's also me just stepping up to the plate right now. My dad's not at work, he's injured, and that's like kind of like putting the whole entire load on me, you know what I mean? Like the payments, everything, bro. Like it's a little overwhelming, bro, but like I know I'm put in that position because I can take it, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, bro. Like just striving, bro, just trying, and thanks to you guys, you know what I mean? Like you guys
help. You're exhausted, bro. It sounds like you're exhausted, man. You just got a lot on your plate, for sure.
Like, bro, I barely sleep sometimes, bro. I'm just thinking, like, bro, am I like your own father doubt you sometimes, bro, when you're trying to do your best, you're all to like prove to him, bro, like
you're your best, and you're waiting for that little gust to win, and instead you get the opposite. And you're going, how could you even say that or see that, bro? I'm kind of in your shoes with a whole different type of scenario, which I really don't know if I'm even still ready to talk about it here, but no, definitely, like, absolutely.
And I just love this Discord shit, you know what I mean? Like we always help each other out, bro. Like whenever anybody's in need, like, and that's why I'm here, bro. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for. And that's basically, you know what I mean? Just stressed here, and yeah, that's basically all I got to share.
I will share with you, man. I'm a married man. I have 2 children. One with my wife, one who's not. My daughter with my wife is 2 years old. Me and my wife are still together, but I haven't seen her in, now it's going to be 9 months. I see my 2-year-old daughter in 9 months. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm an asshole, and I've done like battle rap and all that shit, right? Like, if I'm going to hurt somebody with words, I'm real fucking good at it. And it's always kind of been a downfall when it comes to communicating with people outside of music and shit like that, because it bleeds out. It bleeds out. I really do. So I said horrible things. Like, I've never raised a fist to my wife. I've never threatened my wife. I've never done any crazy off the wall shit.
Just the things you say they're so piercing. I'm bad at it, dog. I'm really bad at that too. No gas.
So me being weathered to that shit, like, no matter how hard I try, I could never hear it or see it the same way she does. Because to me, that's just what it is. I don't have filters, bro. That goes into some whole other just mental shit. Like, there is no filters, man. We don't, no reason. Anyways, fucking it's always been a what you see is what you get. And me and my wife, we've been together for 10 years, if you count that. It's 10 years, man. That's a decade. She was told by doctors she couldn't have a kid. Fucking year and a half later, we have a kid. Like, it was crazy. So there's some shit there. But she's gone into this crazy, like, mental psychosis of, I'm not even there yet. Let me backpedal a little bit. My wife is from San Diego, California. We live in Houston. Father's ex-military, maybe even current military, but just so hush-hush that we don't even... A whole other conversation. Fucking her brother military, cousins military, everybody's military. So there's all these crazy health benefits that she gets there that she doesn't get in Texas. So if she has something going wrong health-wise, she goes there. She went out there for health reasons. Understandable. 3-week program, get checked out, find out what we need to do it. Ends up being way more serious than we thought. Turns into 3 months. 3 months turns into 6 months. Now we're coming up on 9 months. At 6 months, it turned into this entire experience has opened my eyes to God. Me and my mother are attending all these Bible studies and groups and all this shit. And I'm sitting here going, what the fuck? That doesn't mean shit to me. You have my daughter with you. So I'm thinking of my daughter being held captive. So rather than acknowledging the positive and good direction she's going in, trying to do better, I'm sitting here feeling spiteful and angry and alone. And fucking, what the fuck? I'm laying down on my pillow 3 a.m. just blah, going crazy. So I don't even see. My mind's also very fast. I don't even remember what we're talking about right now, brother. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You're good, bro.
I've been in purgatory with some real life shit involving the most important people that mean the most to me. Over shit that still doesn't make sense to me after almost a year. No guidance can bring me that. I'm just lost. It almost makes me ask, like, at what point do I say, okay, maybe I will ask God, like, ugh, it's scary, right?
Do you
like,
think she wants you to move to San Diego? Yes.
I wish it was that easy, man. Of course, I would love to move to San Diego. Who wouldn't love to fucking move to San Diego? That's an expensive lifestyle, brother. That in Houston, you get $140,000 house. They got an upstairs, downstairs, and a pool. Like in San Diego, that gets you an apartment for the year. Like
townhouse.
That's crazy.
Maybe. I think the townhouse here sold for like
So realistically, no, and she knows that. But what happened is that she was there long enough and around people long enough who would love to watch my daughter grow up to love it so much to the point where I become obsolete. I really don't matter anymore. I'm out of sight, out of mind. They know they're in good hands, so their family's going to support her being there as long as she's there. And what can I do over a telephone to ever break a control that strong and powerful? Yeah. Now you know the world of stress that I'm in right now. But like, don't feel bad for me, because I don't feel bad for me. I reap what I sow. I'm not a good guy for all of my life. Like, I did bad things to my wife. Like, there was never physical abuse, but when we were dating, I had a kid with another woman outside of her. I didn't even know it was my kid till the kid was like 4 years old, living in a different state. Like, some crazy movie shit.
I remember that.
Yeah, some crazy movie shit. I paid child support for a kid I've never met, bro. He's about to be 7 years old. That's crazy. Right? Like, I do it. I rise up. I step to the plate and I do it, and I'm still good. It's just shit mechanics likes to talk shit to me about all the time. It's funny because he knows, like, anyways, irrelevant.
How about I had kids with a woman and found out years later that 2 of them, of the 3, were not mine. Like, and they have my first and last name. That my name and shit. That shit's crazy, dog.
I had casual hookups with a side chick who I thought was hella down. Like, she'd kick it with me and my girl. Bro, on everything, she stayed the night with us. I woke up at 4 a.m. and then fighting because she was putting her hand on my cock in my sleep and shit. Like, just crazy shit. Crazy shit. Like, fucking dumb shit. didn't hear from her for 4 years, and then I get a summon to court for a DNA test, and I'm thinking, that was a hoe, you know. It is what it is. She was a ski, like she was hooking up with hella dudes. It ain't mine, I'm sure. Go in, and I got nailed for that shit. They waived the 4 years of back pay and all that. The judge was laughing. I'm like, the lady's like, have you given any gifts for birthdays or da 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 da? And I'm like, I didn't even know I had the kid until like 30 minutes ago. I started laughing, fucking. It was crazy. Crazy shit. So, anyways, I'm rambling. Yo, I was at the pub while my daughter was at volleyball practice. My oldest daughter is 13 years old. I spent 2 hours getting drunk, hitting on the bartender that I hit on every Wednesday for no reason. And I left. And fucking life, brother.
Love it, man.
Yeah, man, I come in here on Wednesdays because I really do feel like people are genuine tonight. They have respect for what people want to talk about. And I've been here a few times and just decided, fuck it, why not tell you about it, right? I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody about that shit because it's something I have a hard time facing. It's such a gray area. It's like I don't even know how I feel or think about or view it. If you were to ask me, well, SK, how do you feel about all that shit? I'd have to go, I don't fucking know.
That's just
I think what's most important and keeping in mind it is like Mental Health Men's Month, right? It's most important because men don't get the chance to be heard on these things, these topics. And a lot of men don't feel comfortable coming to women with these topics, even though women, our role as women or as mothers or as wives is to be supporting of you just as much as it is you of us. But because women are more emotional creatures, we get more attention.
My wife uses it as my 2-year-old is being raised in a much more godly, appropriate environment there than she would be here, and that once she feels she's at a level of contentness, it would be appropriate to reintroduce her to us as a whole. And this is where it really fucks with me. It's like you said, because this is her taking complete and entire control over everything.
And not taking into consideration your feelings.
Not taking into consideration
it. How is it affecting you as a father? How is it affecting her daughter's bond with you?
The miracle baby she was supposed to never have will always come before anything. And if she feels the child is in a great position, like I listen, I respect her, so I understand where she's coming from in the sense that she's in a great environment. She's singing, she's dancing, she's always happy. Great, that's cool. The problem is I'm not there. And that's really what makes it not okay. But there's nothing I could ever say that would convince her of that right now, because she's waiting for God to tell her it's time. That's where it gets really sticky. Because it's like you're talking to somebody who's already got some hard feelings towards that guy, and now you're gonna tell me God will let me know. What'd you do today? Oh, fucking, read this and that, and I went to the park and met with Marissa, and she played with Jet, all this stuff. And to me, it sounds like, damn, I'm glad you can live an alternate life out there and completely ignore the fact that you adopted my daughter, your stepdaughter, when you married.
I think that shit's wild still.
You didn't just leave me when you decided to extend your stay. Like, my daughter's also here with just me, and you've been a major part of her life for the last 8 years. So it's one thing to overlook me. I'm a grown-ass man. I can go to sleep. My daughter, she's 13 now. She missed her 13th birthday, all this shit. I'm sitting here thinking, what is the impact that's going to have? Because she's watched women kind of just do this over and over to me if they become very important and then they're gone. And this isn't a pity party, no sympathy. I don't want to take that route. Like with that statement. But she sees it. She sees, oh, my dad's alone again. Oh, damn. Is he really that great if he's always alone? Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit matters the most to me, bro. Like, I don't know. Crazy.
We all know that you probably would be a happier man if you had an adult female companion. To be very honest, like the companionship itself, the support that you are supposed to receive from a woman. If you had that companionship, you as a man would be happier, and your children would be able to see that dad's happy. I think I struggle with that too, because I'm like a single mom now, so I definitely struggle with that. And I know as a mom, like, it's in my mind, I have to teach my kid healthy relationships too. And the only way for him to really learn about healthy relationships versus toxic relationships is to see his mom in a healthy relationship.
Right. So
I feel it, dude. You're away from your kid. I've never really had that feeling, except for like there was 3 months where my baby dad literally like dad napped my kid. So I feel your pain. Like I've been the sole provider, sole caregiver. I've loved and nurtured my
Even
son
more
his
so, I
entire
feel
life.
very betrayed. You know, yeah. My understanding was 3 weeks, and you're coming back. Okay, they found
And
some
I
stuff
had
that's
no
gonna
idea
have to
who
be
my son
addressed.
was.
Okay, 3 months
I
in.
couldn't get an
Great
address. No,
circumstances are part of the situation, XK.
it hurts. It
Yeah,
really hurts.
it's just it's
Like you
just a whole.
a year ago, you know, your baby's just what, barely a year or something. Like that's
My daughter is
age
2 years old, man,
of
and
course
that's
you want
something that
and
I
all
used
that.
to. I
That's just like life. That's like kids
let
you have.
me tell you, man. After about 3 months of her being there, after I found out, after the 3 weeks, the 3 months came, and she said, "No, I'm gonna stay because I'm gonna pursue this class. I think it's gonna be good for both of us if I do this." Da da da. Of being understanding, my mind just went straight to what the fuck, you know, like
Yeah.
straight flip out mode. And I did my fair share of just like, I have no idea what you're doing to me. I'm fucking hurting every night. How could you do this? I thought you loved me. You know, just being fucking stupid. Like at the time, it made sense because that's how I was feeling. Just because you're feeling that way doesn't make it right. Rather than being appreciative and acceptance of, you know what? I'm happy that my daughter's in a good environment. I'm happy that you're pursuing something greater, and I'm happy that I know you well enough that I can trust you. Instead, no. Like I feed off negativity, bro. Instead, I went straight for the fucking dagger of why the fuck do you need to be there? You should be there with me. I'm entitled to my daughter. You're stealing time from me. You're fucking doing all this shit. And it took a
But you
long.
do have
It
to
took
stay in a way, you know, but
no way, but here's the thing. It's one thing if you feel like you really yearn to be with your kid and that's why you want to talk to him, right? It's another thing if you want to talk to your kid because you feel entitled to. Who are you to tell me I can't talk to her? As a matter of fact, let me talk to her right now. And that's what I was doing. And I had to kind of step back and reevaluate and restructure how I was approaching it. And I had to redetermine what will I allow make me upset and what will I brush off. As simple as that sounds, it's not that easy. It's real life, bro, and you can apply that at the grocery store, fucking at fucking dealing with your family, dealing with a girl, man. Like, it's just choose what makes you mad. They try to instill that in us as kids, but we don't really pay attention to it. You have control of your emotions, believe it or not. And sometimes they fight harder than we're willing to resist, and they win. You still have to at least put up that fight. And when you stop putting up that fight, that's when you really don't give a fuck, and that's when you start reaping what you sow. Like. Like, I'll just leave it at that, man. It is what it is. I poured my guts out long enough. I appreciate y'all listening to me.
Appreciate you for sharing, bro. Talk.
Is everyone silent right now, or is it just me?
No, it's silent.
Oh, okay.
Even
Where's
my dog's depressed now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Where'd
It
Rob
is what it
go?
is.
Well, how does his microphone's acting up right now?
Oh,
Well,
okay.
does
I
anybody
was
else want to talk
I
about their
was just
day
gonna say,
or about their
last
week?
last Wednesday I kind of gave you a little bit of into my mental struggles of being cordial with the two people I hate most in my parents' lifestyle, and then like soon after that it kind of literally blew up in my face. Cordial, and I felt like I shouldn't have been so cordial. Maybe if I had been a little more rude or standoffish, that the event that happened after wouldn't have happened, or it wouldn't have happened. But it is what it is, and at this point, it's just so very important that no matter what negative things happen in your life, that you feel the feeling first. Feel the feeling. Talk to somebody in your support network. Find somebody. Everybody needs a 3 a.m., 4 a.m. friend. You know, everybody needs at least one. Whether it's family,
Yeah.
whether you find comfort in a stranger in Discord from a different state that you don't technically even know and decide to meet at Friendsgiving. Fuck it. Why not?
My mic was acting up.
Right? Right, XK? You're opening up to us today for the first time, and It took a couple weeks, but we've all created an environment where we're comfortable in sharing certain details in our lives, and
Kind
it's
of
important
crazy. In the
to do that.
beginning, it was
It's
just
just
like one or two of us that would only share, and then like one other person would be like
It's easier.
a little impy and
the
shit.
hardest part about of it is
You guys
whenever
don't
you
know.
voice it, it becomes realer than ever, and it's just a part of accepting it within
And
yourself.
and
It's like now you know, like there it
when you
is.
speak about your own situation, it allows you to remove your own objective from it and hear what you're saying, hear how you're describing it. And sometimes that's like the first time that you're actually going to hear yourself. And what I really kind of challenge you guys to do, and I don't think any of you guys do it, but if you go back to these videos, besides just liking, thumbs up, subscribing, telling people to join Discord, communitybookclub.org, besides those things, go back and listen to yourself. It's a video journal, and in a couple weeks from now you'll look back and you'll just like, damn, I was going through that last week. Like for me, I was literally going through it in my mind last Wednesday. I stepped out of my parents' home to be able to speak on that topic. It was completely unprepared, and I felt like I was all over the place. But now I can look back and say, shit, like 2 days ago some crazy ass shit went down right after that, but I'm still strong enough to get through it. Yes, it hit me hard. I felt my emotions on Monday when shit went bad, but I'm still getting through it because I still can. I'm not a product of my environment, and I don't have to be affected by a situation that has literally affected me for 30 years. I don't have to react that way anymore.
Break the programming, man. That's one thing I've learned harder than anything in probably the last 5 years is break the programming. It's extremely difficult, but when you do it, it feels so good. It feels so good. Do something different. Break the programming, even if it's just something as simple as going to a park. Sounds corny, but shit works.
Yep.
Get your mind somewhere else for a second and
Like
see where it goes.
and I was trying to say
Yeah.
earlier when the podcast very first started, but for some reason either my mic was fucking up or something. When Rob was touching on his update and his own situations, you know, we wouldn't have known to come help him as full force as we did if he hadn't shared small details with us throughout the weeks about his stress, about his housing situation, about all of this. So in the very least, like him, even though we all kind of look up to him for really bringing us all together, he had his own hardships, and you know, he's opened up and become honest with us about these things, and it allowed us to see into his world and know that he needed support, and he needed that support full force. So just know, as much as we came through for you, you came through for yourself, Rob, in sharing those details and showing that you needed the support that you needed, because you didn't have it elsewhere.
It's
But
cool
you
how
did
far
have
just
it.
being
I
open
appreciate
and
it, y'all.
honest can go.
Yeah, no, I
Sir.
do appreciate it, y'all. Times a million, though. You already know, like
I was
that
trying to
shit.
bring that up earlier, you know, but like you
Yeah,
really
even
helped.
Tiger was tripping. He was like, there was just hella people there. I was like, I was in shock. I felt out of place. He said, hold on. But we out of there, you know, now, and it's cool. You know, there's a lot of things to look forward to, and it's just like sometimes it feels like stuff's crumbling down, and a lot of times it is like, wait, but just being able to break.
It's just it's all
And
about
you
being
can
able to
definitely
accept
find
it. Deal with
comfort
it.
in rebuilding. Find comfort in rebuilding. That's all you can.
Yeah, that's the easy
Exactly.
part. I enjoy that part. That's probably the most.
Well, that's the key word is rebuilding, because whenever we get broken, we're normally very weak. Those of us who can find the strength in us to rise up over it, you know, that I don't know. That's how we get these meetings, man. I hope people can take something from it and to learn or do better or fucking whatever,
If
man.
there's one thing I'd want to tell anybody watching, bro, is don't be in, you know what I mean? Don't feel like you're alone, bro. Reach out, because like Marissa touched, bro, like once you reach out, people can actually help you. Don't be, you know, don't feel like you're all alone and all that. Nah.
Be surprised how far honesty and forwardness can go in the real world,
Right.
bro. It might pull you out a hole one day. Like you might be scared or ashamed or embarrassed, but just fucking jump, man. The shit
So
works.
to tie up what I was kind of saying with you guys as men, because again, here I am, only woman except Mars down there, who's quiet right now and calmed down. Thanks, Mars. Good to see you.
about to
I'm
do
no
a reading
longer the
for me
only
tonight.
woman, but I'm the only woman speaking for the moment. I did come across my colleague or like friends, his own like thoughts and research after just seeing everyone talking about mental health and especially in regards to men. And I kind of just wanted to read these things to you guys just to give you some perspective. My biggest thing is perspective. And I know Juice already saw it because I sent it to him earlier and it's on my story, but I really wanted to read this to
And
everybody
thank you
today.
for that. And I just want to say I appreciate you for that. Like that, like low key, like
Yo, click that
made me
thumbs
think
up,
in a
share the
different way. You know what I
stream.
mean?
Yeah,
Seeing it.
no, it's definitely some crazy perspective that we just don't take the
Let's get it.
time to think like that. And me too as a woman, and I've done a
Go,
lot
go,
of
go, go,
research.
go, go.
I've done a lot of research this year as a single woman on the roles of men and women in relationships, in friendships, just biologically the roles of women and men, like within like, you know, reproducing as a team and surviving as a team and you know the different aspects. So November's Men's Health Month. And my friend says this, and I'm reading it pretty much off of his own posting that I saved. 3 things I learned about being successful and happy as a male. Number 1, making men feel better by lying to them is detrimental. If you have inadequacies as a man, you need to know them, accept them, and improve. So that's the number 1. And then he gives a little bit of like background or more content to that, right? Says asking for sympathy or asking other people to accept your flaws is ridiculous. The world doesn't owe you any sympathy. Girls can sit there and coddle you all that they want, but you will never have things handed to you as a man. The world will never save you. Hence why 70% of homeless people are men. Accept this and take steps. So,
Oh shit.
as men, I've found that the entire world and society looks at you guys for the majority as the provider. And and I hate to say it that no matter what you say about women being loving, nurturing, whether they're alpha or beta or whether they had broken homes,
There's a level of security that we
whether
can
they had
provide that
broken
might not
homes
be
or they had good
predominant.
homes, whether they lived Christian lives or whether they, you know, immersed themselves in the streets or, you know, they just came from a bad childhood. No matter what, women always see men as protectors and providers. And we've touched on that. We look to you for strength, but you're the only person that has the capability of saving yourself as a man at the end of the
That
day.
applies both ways. Absolutely both.
Exactly. But in touching on men's, it's a little more difficult because we know it's a less talked about subject. There's
Well,
less
I
open
we
for.
agree that it may be a little more sensitive because we're a day and age where everyone's
And
equal, right?
well,
So that would
yeah, and
apply.
then
It would have to
it is
apply to both. There is no edge or advantage on either side. But at the end of
definitely
the day, realistically, there is that drive that's embedded in us that is to
well,
supply, take care of.
and that's why my friend interjected the statistic of 70% of homeless people are men. And if you look at it, majority
That's
of
a
those
weird
people,
stat, though. What is the significance of that? Because that is a weird stat. I'm not saying it's wrong by any means. I'm just wondering why
I
that
think
is.
what
What is
happens
it that
is
causes it?
men are seen as mothers and as women and they're given more resource. I think that's really just what it comes down to myself as a woman. Like
So
I
here,
have
so
access to
here's
so much
something
more.
I just want to rebuttal with. Do you think it may be kind of piggybacking on the fact that the men, as the go-getters, wired into us as the hunters and providers and the security, that they jump out on a limb, they take risks, and the risks don't always work
Definitely.
out, and it lands them in a
Definitely.
position where they're now homeless, and that may be why there's an increase because women don't necessarily take that same plunge. I think it would be much easier for a woman to find a nest or a home in a situation where a man would find himself homeless. And I hope I don't sound sexist when I say that, but that's 100% pussy power. I don't have it.
No, and that's why I focus mostly on men. That's why I'm not so much speaking to the women side of things or the equality in which society sees that we should have now or equal rights or feminism versus masculinism.
Just so you know, I'm just picking brains. I'm not
No,
trying to
I
argue
hear
with you.
you.
I promise.
I hear you. I get it. You're thinking through
I
the
like to
topic.
listen, believe it or not. I like to
That's how I
listen, see
work
what I
too.
can learn today.
I work through feedback. So
Welcome,
my
Ricky
biggest
Bobby.
flaw is that I think I seek
Ricky
too much
Bobby's a
feedback from others, and
man.
I don't value my own opinion and my own like I don't hold myself credible enough.
It's not really a bad thing though, because a lot
No,
of
but it's not.
times,
But it's
like
not if I can't be
most
decisive.
people,
It's not if
are
I.
fixated on what they think
But I
is
have
right, and they're not
difficulty
so
putting a
open.
plan into motion because I overthink things. If that makes sense.
You know what you're
So
saying? It's hard to choose one because it could be multiple or whatever. So
yeah,
it's hard to
like I don't move forward
over
with a decision. I
evaluation.
don't stick to it and just move in and own it. Like I have that issue.
When I try to pick a movie on Netflix, I pick one. 2 seconds later, it's off again. Looking at the selections. Fucking 30 minutes later, I just go to bed. Yeah,
But okay, so let
same
me
same theory.
XK, if you don't mind, I'm gonna move into number 2 because I
Sorry,
did
I'm gonna
touch
mute.
on
I'm kind of.
that. So number 2, and there's only 3 things, so bear with me, guys. You cannot afford to believe in the delusions of society. So we've kind of already touched on that. As a man, if you do not succeed in life, you will not have access to resources, dating opportunities, or just opportunities in general, a good quality life. A man is valued by society for what he contributes to it. Despite what anyone says, this is a biological function. So on a biological level, like, a beast level, as we know through like evolution or whatever, or
I know what
hunter
you're saying.
gatherers or whatever, like that's what I was meaning by like the traditional, like the old roles of men. But and it's difficult, it's really difficult to define now because there's so many more variables and there's so many more people pushing equal rights and bending
It's almost looked at negatively to be too masculine. You know, if you try to
yeah,
play your role too hard, you're sexist.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so last but not least, this is the craziest one that we all kind of forget. You need to be a realist. So don't allow your feelings to overwhelm you or your emotions to overwhelm you, but be logical. Understand the logical side of things. Being overly positive or overly negative is actually useless because being positive in every single situation will lead to disappointment when you do fail. It causes a victim mentality. Like, why me? You can't afford to believe everything is always going to work out. You have to be realistic and accept the possible consequences of any scenario. Failure is always a possibility. Accept it and be prepared if it happens. When it comes to dating, yes, of course, you'll get rejected multiple times. You just accept it. You accept life for what it is. You have control over your actions. Don't victimize yourself. No negative self-talk. You are not entitled to anything in life. If something isn't going in your favor, there is an objective reason as to why. Understand what that issue is. Take steps to resolve it. And that was like the most like outstanding part of it because we forget to see the big picture. We get so caught up in all the little things that keep piling up on our shoulders that we don't step back all the time and see the big picture. Like, yeah, I have 5,000 stressors, but I may not have good income. I make 10K less than I make last year. I'm now a single mom. I'm still doing everything that I did last year and I'm struggling. I'm struggling with time. I'm struggling with money. I'm struggling with energy. I'm struggling with mental stress.
Right there, you said it. You said it
But
right there. You're still doing everything you did last year. Break the routine. That's all I'm saying. Break the
and
programming. I'm
and
dealing
the
with it
difference
too. I
is
promise.
I'm doing
Yeah.
it by myself, and that's giving myself so much more power. And like
But don't let it consume you.
me having that issue last Wednesday with my parents and my childhood, and then having a major issue, absolutely the worst fear of my life happened to me on Monday. And some people know about that. It was literally the one thing I've worked 12 years to avoid, and it happened to me, you guys. It fucking happened to me. I felt like a
But
failure in the moment.
yeah, I never mind. I was gonna ask because I wasn't here. I believe I
No, I
remember
know.
that.
So last Wednesday, I just kind of went over how like my parents had their friends over, and they're fucking good for nothing drug doing leeches. They're leeches. They do drugs. They borrow my mom's money and then they bring her drugs back. That's basically the cycle there. And they're the two people that we moved 2 hours away from the Bay Area to get away from. And I fucking hate them. And I have many reasons to hate them. And I've hated them since I was like 12 years old. And then it happened again when I was pregnant with my son. And now this happened on Monday. And instead of popping off, instead of going crazy, I kept calm. And I said, I'm not doing this. And I walked away. That is so crazy to me that the number one thing that I've avoided for 12 years, that I swore to God I would beat somebody's face in, even though I'm not a fighter, happened. And I just had the strength to settle my own mind, even though it was going 5,000 miles per hour, say absolutely bare minimum and walk away from the situation. And even keep that situation for my son, even though he's like old enough to realize what it is. I just kind of tried to play it off. And then what did I do? I reached directly out to my support system. I called Mars. No less, you guys. I called Mars. And Mars talked me down. And that's exactly what I needed. So I just wanted to follow up with all of these things. Like, you have to be realistic. You have to be realistic. If it's not going to affect me in 5 days, because I'm still living life and I'm still doing all the responsible things that I know I need to do in my life and that mattered, so I and my son have a quality of life, then fuck whoever's fucking that shit up. Fuck the toxicity in my life. Matter of fact, I don't even like the word toxicity because I think we use it too much. I hate the word narcissistic. I think narcissistic is way overutilized and it means something completely different than what society makes it now. Instead of attaching what we're responsible for, we have an issue where we say that person's toxic, that person is narcissistic, when in all reality, why are we letting them affect us? That's their own demons. Why are you letting it affect you? You're still a good person at the end of the day. And born evil, to me, the idea means that we all come from our own struggle, right? We all came from some, or we have the ability to be somebody that we might not want to be. We have the ability, like, I can go 0 to 100 real fucking quick. And it's mostly a mind and mental thing. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
One thing I picked up from Born Evil that was very appealing to me is it's more along the lines to me of like, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Face it and make the most of it. Like, we accept you. We
And
don't
all of
expect
it,
anything from you.
as humans, we generally think that we're all good people. Like, we just, I'm a good person. You know, I'm loving. I love my friends. My friends love me. I'm a good ass friend. But in somebody else's
we're good to our people. We never look at how we look to the people who aren't in our circles. So I don't know about y'all, but I ain't nice to people who ain't in my circle. Like, they don't deserve it, right?
No, and the crazy part about my life is the 3 people that you think should be my number 3 fucking people and supporters in my life and I should love and respect them are the top 3 people that I fucking hate with a passion, and I don't give a fuck about them, and I have no fucking respect for them.
I can never imagine hating my parents because I look up to my parents greatly. They're only 15 years older than me. They were young when they
and you know, I've tried so hard to get through the resentment. I've honestly tried to get through the resentment and just be like, it is what it is, but I can't get past it. Like, I'm just gonna hate them.
You know, if you don't mind me asking, like, what is it that is it like a judgment thing? They're always judging you, or they didn't push
they're
you
just
enough,
meth
or you
heads.
hold some type
They're
of
meth
grudge?
heads. They're not in touch
the
with
dopies.
they're not in touch with their accountability. They're not in touch with any.
Oh no, I'm very aware how that shit is. So ultimately, like, if anything goes wrong, it could never be their fault. But in a much
my
more
mom blew a cloud of my mom blew out a cloud of meth smoke on Monday, and I walked in to do work for her with my son directly behind me. We both walked into my front door of my house that's in my name that I don't live in.
Yeah,
I have my own apartment because I refuse to live with them for the sake of me and my son.
Bucket.
And my parent has the audacity to cripple herself worse than she already is because I'm a caregiver, you know, like I'm a caregiver.
You gotta remember though, it's like you said, like with dope heads though, it's like a whole different spectrum of
They
appropriateness.
ruined
Like they don't
what it
understand that
is
they're not being.
they ruined the receptors, the neurotransmitters in their brain that accept the responsibility over things in the system.
I think something that's very predominant in people who are addicts, especially with hard drugs, is denial, and part of denial is like creating a false sense of existence for yourself.
They have
So
no
they don't
idea.
see,
They
and
have
they
no
have
idea.
no
That's just
idea
the
that they're
world we
doing
live
wrong.
in.
They've
That's the
blocked it
world
out
that
to the point where even when it's happening, they don't acknowledge it, so it can't be real. That's how they've
they think
trained
it
themselves
only
to deal
affects
with
them
it.
and nobody else.
Yeah,
That is their
facts.
alternative reality, and it's
Oh, that's a
majority of the
pattern
drugs.
you'll see in a lot of people, and that it's not a biased thing. It's
Alcohol,
anyone with an addiction like that. Exactly.
addiction.
Yeah.
But see, even people that don't have addiction, those people still have vices, or those people still have coping mechanisms that they just never learned to. And it's still that same paradigm
For
or
me, it's a
perspective.
constant battle because it's like I've lived a lot of life. In my 33 years here, I've lived a lot of life. And so, like, I've kind of seen the worst and the good and the bad and the great and the horrible, all that shit. And so, I think this might be kind of like a self problem, but I sit here and go, if I overcame it, how did you not? And I don't feel bad for people in those places. I see people on the dope, and I say you're doing it to yourself. Am I wrong for that? Should I feel conflicted because I don't feel bad that they're in a bad place? Should I be more sympathetic and like what could I do to help them because I know people who have been there, or even I've never been a slave to a drug other than nicotine and fucking
I
MDMA
think
when I
the
was like
best that
fucking
you can
17.
do,
You know what I mean? Like
if you have it in your pocket and if you have it in your heart, I think the best thing you can just do is give them water or a meal or like a blanket. Like honestly, like that's as much as you
not
can
physically.
do, because
It's
what
definitely not physically. I guess let me
no, I know.
rephrase what I'm
But at
saying
the
because
end
it's
of
not
the
that I
day,
feel.
guess
Sorry.
what? Charity starts at home. You also have things that you're missing in your life that instead of worrying about somebody who's possibly been given the resources but denied them, you need to find those resources to work on your own issues. Don't
Just
feel
for
like obligated to those
when
issues.
people feel compelled to give the guy $1 at the red light because he washed the window for him, even though they didn't ask for it. You know, that's a maybe a Houston thing. I don't know. Hop out on your car at the red light, wash the window, so then you have a guilt trip if you don't give
Well,
them
I'm
anything.
the type that if I have any change in my car and I see someone, I won't like go up to them or anything because I'm a woman and I'm pretty helpless when it comes to self defense. But if I'm like 4 cars back, I will put the change on the island, and by the time they see me or I get up there, I'll be like, "There's change back there." But I
Right.
won't. I
I
won't
don't know.
always
I guess
need
what I'm
help in
really
that
getting
because
at,
it's not my responsibility.
there we go. That's what I'm getting at.
And I
It's
could
more
put
of a how empathetic is too empathetic. Because listen, I used to drive around like back when I was selling weed in Texas. Like I would have probably maybe 10 to 12 joints rolled up for my carry on for the day as I go about places smoking and shit. And if I
you would
saw a
give
dude
one to the
holding this,
homeless man that
yeah, of
wanted a
course,
joint.
dude, I'd give him the joint, I'd give him a lighter, and I'd give him a bottle of water because I always had bottles of water in the car.
And you know
Coffee,
that's you wanting to live a righteous life, and I mean, I don't
I
see
thought
anything
about it,
wrong with that.
but think about that line. Am I an enabler or am I really helping him out? Like,
I don't think you
that
need
was
to
a
worry about that. I think
I don't know.
obviously like weed is the last thing that majority of people should have to worry about these days.
What a
it's kind of
person
taken
does with what you give them is it's between
right.
them and the universe and God. We don't have to worry about that. If they
Yeah,
decide to go spend it on whatever
Y'all
the
can
hell
just hear
that
me
they're
talk.
they're
you're
battling with,
you're
that's on
giving
them.
good
Well,
energy.
and again, it's weed. I was handing out joints, not money. Joints and lighters and bottles of
Yeah,
water. I thought about it. It's like,
It
am I
doesn't matter
enabling
because
him? Does
whatever
it
you
set
give
an
a person,
expectation? Like,
no, I don't think so because I think that person's already been through the motion. To be honest,
he might just go, "Oh, that was a nice guy," you know. Like,
yeah. Well, oh look, somebody cared for me today, and
guess what I'm getting
maybe
at
give them
before
the
we get
slightest
too
sense of
far off,
hope.
man, is how empathetic is too empathetic because I do put myself in people's shoes when I see them or I listen to them, and it's like can carrying too much be toxic for you? Because like you were just talking about, you have to put focus on you and what's good for you, but you can't always do that if you're putting yourself in other people's shoes because
I
I may have $30
definitely.
in my pocket, but I may give him $5 because he needs it, but that's still setting me back
But here's
farther than I need.
on the
Like,
flip side.
uh,
On the flip side, I know people that are too empathetic and would definitely give the shirt off their back and the last couple dollars in their bank account even just to
right,
help somebody. And I know people that do that, and I tell these people all the time, like, I feel like you spread yourself too thin, but of course, like, you can't help but admire somebody who lives a life full of compassion and righteousness.
Right.
And
Right.
at some point in our lives, we were little fucking devils too. Like, I was a fucking party girl when I
It's
was
not,
like 17 years old.
like,
17 years old, I was fucking
do
crazy.
we really do those little things because we care? Or do we do it because we feel like self-consciously guilty? Our subconscious, because of all the dirt we're doing at the time, it's like our way of giving back. I don't know. I was in a weird
Well,
place when I
that's
was
why
doing
you
that
give
shit.
No,
freely
I get
without
Yeah.
that. I
any
definitely
kind of
get that.
thought or consequence. You give freely with no restrictions, with no, if you do this
Right.
for me, I gotta do this for you. You give because you want to, not because you have to or you feel
Yeah.
guilty about it.
Would you believe it's not empathetic? It's more along the lines of just being kind-hearted. It's
I
not
mean,
that you feel sorry for them. It's that this will help them. I think that would be a
but
healthy
that's
way
the
to
whole,
look at it, right?
but
As
that
compared
all
to
has
empathetic.
to be with
And
your
you
empathy and
possibly
sympathy.
relate
You
to
feel
a
for
feeling
them.
of hopelessness. You relate to their feeling of hopelessness. And if that's something
Right.
you can do to help them for that day, like, what's wrong with that?
So let me dig deeper. I'm sorry, I'm really pecking right now. So, like, whenever you give that money to that person who says they need money, whatever, you give them $3, feel good. You taking off. I did my part today, right? Did you really do it for them, or did you do it for you? Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. Are we really helping these people for them? Or are we doing it because we're so conflicted ourselves and make us feel better about it because we help someone else out in a worse place than where we like that? I don't know. Sorry, I'm digging deep.
No, I'm like, $3 here. Why wouldn't I give it to somebody
I would
I
never
can
give
do
money
without?
to anyone to make me feel better. Fuck no. I've
Don't think
given
so?
people money because I could tell I've been there where I'm like, damn, I know how it is when I don't have a couple bucks and a couple bucks to just make your day.
Right.
So I've never
Right.
given anyone anything or done anything for anyone to make me feel better. I have a shitty day and I'll go help. In a way, it does give you some kind of like, man, a good deed type of thing. But at
Oh,
the end of the day, it's not like,
the reason I asked Botany, man, is because whenever I was handing the joints out and stuff, I thought it was like a cool thing to do and funny. But something I came to realization with on some self discovery shit is I was really just boosting my own ego. I was giving myself something to feel good about that I did that day. Like, I can fucking go tell the homies about this. Fucking, it wasn't to make that
Yeah.
guy's day better. It was
I
to
see what
do,
you're saying.
yeah.
My
Like I was doing it for the
ex-boyfriends, they
wrong
like to do
reason.
shit like that on the holidays too. And I started realizing that I felt like they did it more so for the clout than actually helping the community. Like, I
Fuck no.
definitely felt that it was a lot about clout,
Facts.
especially because if we're posting it on social media, like, just do that shit.
I'd
If we're
never
gonna
do
post it
that.
on social media, do that shit. If you're
I'd
gonna
never
post
And,
do
it on
that.
and
social
then,
media,
and what's
do
really
it
scary is
to
they may
gain
have
the
the purest
resources,
intent.
but
Sorry.
not to show the result. Like, like, it was too
People
much.
do it with good intentions. They don't understand that they're feeding their own egos while they do it. That's kind of a realization I came to is people do a lot of things for themselves when they think they're doing it for other people. Like I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
I just
I'm going
knew
ahead.
just to do things that were good. Like, man, I remember going out and giving away a bunch of extra sweaters I had. Sweaters that got fucked up in the middle of printing. And I went and gave it away to a bunch of bums one night when I knew it was cold as fuck. And I was like, I don't need these, dude. I ain't got no money for you, but I know it's cold. You want some sweaters? And I was like, give them to your homies. I gave them a fat pile of sweaters,
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. That dude
you know?
rocking
And
keeping it
no one
real all
seen that.
day.
That was
I
at
see
11
in
o'clock
that.
at night. You know,
That's
just
cool.
no one
That's
seen
cool.
me.
You can get up and get it.
I think what I was kind of lily padding towards is that humility plays a large role in the decisions we make every day. And so with that, you have to learn to separate yourself from like what's actually right and what humility is, what humanity expects you to do. What would humanity think was the right thing to do? What would humanity not expect you to do? As compared to what is the right thing to do? What is not the right thing to do?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's like yeah, I don't know. It's weird, man. I'm going through some weird metamorphosis right now where my mind's just trying to pick and pull and twist things and make it more than it probably is. It's kind of opening my eyes to some really base level stuff that's like, why do we think like this? Why do we do that? Like, if we really
SK,
sat
I
back
can
and
answer
asked
that
ourselves,
question.
yeah. Like, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I said I could answer that question. It's called you tapping into being self awareness. That's what it is. You have all these questions. You are finally coming into your being that wow, I've done some really fucked up shit these past few years. Let me try to fix some of these. Let me try to remedy this. That's called you being empathetic, sympathetic on yourself. That's called you are remorsing about the decisions you made in the past. Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you this right now. It's called you going to put your big boy pants on. You're going to start it at one leg at a time. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, and every day is a new day. So every day is a new
Yes.
point of improving better than you were the 10 years ago, yesterday, last week, whichever. You always have that choice to be better. You don't have to be rotten, or you don't have to be bad and toxic now in your present or in your
Right.
future. It doesn't
You're not
have to be like
restricted by your flaws, right? You're not restricted by your momentary flaws. Ooh. Oh, why'd she leave him? Yeah, that was real. And like I was saying, you're not restricted by your momentary flaws. Don't let being content trick you into thinking like this is what you're worth. This is all you can have. This is what you were meant for. Don't, don't let being comfortable and content. My bad. There it goes. That's real ADHD right there. I don't even remember what the fuck we're
No,
talking
I
about
totally
right now.
got you.
Yeah.
I got you. That's how I was last Wednesday. That's why I was like, oh fuck, guys, I forgot where I was going with this.
Hey, a diagnosed Tourette syndrome and ADHD at the same time when I was 9 years old. Actually it was kind of before that, but I was 5 years old. I was in a psychiatrist's office for telling my parents I was gonna kill them in their shit, like some weird psycho shit. And fucking
what was your
like,
Tourette's tick? What was your tick?
I got a lot of them. I still got them, girl. I still have my ticks. I gotta touch my chin to my collarbone before I can take a breath sometimes. Fucking I make this weird like if ever we're fucking just like watching a movie or like reading a book or anything, you'll start hearing
he's a
fucking weird
sketchy.
shit out of my throat. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's when you're anxious or bored?
If I'm put on the spot, if I'm feeling a lot of stress, or if I'm bored, or if I'm extremely focused. If I'm very focused, it's like I'm so focused it breaks off the barrier that's been trained to block the ticks out.
Yeah.
So the ticks just happen. One thing about Tourette's is it's 100% entirely impulsive. Most people don't understand. Like, I'm not saying fuck shit ass damn. Like, my brain's going,
it can be
left eye has to blink
involuntary
before you
muscle
can breathe
movement.
out of your right nostril. Like,
Yeah.
it's really fucked, actually.
So
Yeah.
So the reason why I asked this is because for the longest time, like I thought I was a bad mom and I was raising a crazy kid, because in the early years of elementary school, my son had an issue where he would roll his eyes back. He would just sit there and roll them, like not even know he's doing it, and just roll them back, roll them back. And, or like,
I never rolled my eyes, but I would have to point them to the right corners of both eyes. Again, it all locked into taking a breath.
or he'd like blink all the time. You know, like he had the blinking one. Then there was one where it was sound oriented, and he would always like clear his throat. He'd be like and I was
crazy.
like, do I have him evaluated?
Does he have Tourette's? Like, I gotta ask, does he have Tourette's?
No.
I have no idea.
These are all ticks I've had.
That happened to me and my brother when we were kids. It happened to me because I had a homie that used to blink his eyes all crazy, and I remember I used to start doing it just because it was him, and I never had Tourette's.
Just so you know, like it's
I remember I used to like shake my head all the time when I had headaches when I was a kid, and I like always would like do it. It was weird, but yeah, I never had Tourette's ever.
Yeah,
but I
started doing the eye thing again. I caught him a few times, and it's been a couple years. Like it was like every year it was like either the same thing or a same thing plus a new thing, or like a combination of like two things, and then it went away for a while, and then this year it kind of came back, and I'm wondering, is it because my son is going through a ton of stress with like all this custody battle stuff? Like, is it because he's anxious? Is it a nervous tick? Is it
so Tourette syndrome is it's a neurological disorder, and what that means is that like so when electrons fire and get received, to tell your body to do things from your brain, right?
Yeah, it's a muscle. It's a neurotransmission. And
your brain is telling your body to do things without you actually telling it to do it, which is what makes us so impulsive. Like when I jump in and start talking over you, like I don't want to talk over you. I'd rather listen. Like I don't come here to talk even. My impulses, I don't have that filter that's wired into people, like where okay. Like my brain thinks a thought and it goes.
Now we know to just give you a little extra space to talk.
It's not even. It's just
or to shut
it's
yourself
very
up. One of the
impulsive.
two. I don't know.
So when I was growing up in Kansas City, I went to a special psychiatrist for Tourette syndrome. He had it. I got free tickets to the Royals games, Kansas City Royals baseball, because the pitcher Jim Eisenreich had Tourette's. Fucking, I got to go to all these summer camps. You like, it's one thing to be like, and have to like bend your finger whenever you don't want to and shit like that. I knew people who at any given time they might go and do a somersault. That sounds funny.
That's wild.
Sounds funny until you see him do it on fucking a sidewalk and his whole back is bleeding and he's crying and fucking pain and then does it again on top of the same wounds. Like,
that's fucked.
Your brain is making your body do things without you telling, like your brain, like, you know what I mean, without you having a decision. This kid does not want to. He does not want to somersault on open wounds, but he will do it over and over because that's what his brain is saying to do. That's severe Tourette's. That's shit I've seen in real life.
How do you take care of that? How does that get fixed, bro?
You don't. You fucking have a babysitter that walks everywhere with
or
you.
You
try
do
to
a bunch of
put their hands under you whenever you're going crazy.
Yeah. Pass out.
Dude, I'm blessed for my tics, bro, on everything. I'm thankful for my tics. And that's another thing. I remember 4th grade, I had to have the counselor, my parents had the counselor bring a video in about Tourette's because everyone thought I was doing it for attention. We'd be taking tests, and I'd be like, you little fucking goofy ass noise, and clear my throat and shit.
About my kid. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's just doing it for attention." He's like,
doing it for attention. One of the most traumatizing experiences of my life. I'll dump it out while I have it in my brain. Hopefully, I can catch it before it's gone. Fucking, it was probably, it'd be like 2nd grade, 3rd grade. My parents bring me to it's dinner time. We're all at the table, we're going to eat, and I kept winking my right eye. Boom! I had to feel my muscles tense before I could. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Go to your, you know what? Just go to your room. I went to my room. I didn't eat dinner. Fucking, I got disciplined by my parents for something I had no control of because they had no awareness of what was going on. They thought I was acting out. My whole childhood, I was fucking energetic, crazy, fucking doing stupid, dumb shit. Like, they thought I was just nuts. Sorry, again, drunk ramble. I never think about this shit, bro. It's cool to get to dig it out of the ground or whatever.
You don't hear it. You don't cycle it until you say it. You hear yourself say it. You hear yourself explaining it. That's why I definitely challenge you to go back and to listen to this. And then to think more
my parents had me on Adderall. They had me on Ritalin, all that shit when I was younger. I'm proud to say, 33, I don't take a single pill. Ad's on Valium. My mom needs everything.
That's good. You don't need no medicine.
I take no pills. I smoke weed and I drink beer because that makes me go to sleep at night. Other than that, I'm Gucci, man. Fuck that shit. And I got the most of them. I got the most of them. Like.
And, you know, I think a lot of us forget that you can work through things with alternative motives or alternative reasons or just medicating differently. And I think a lot of us here in our group kind of know that we self-medicate with weed to a degree, you know? We definitely do.
Weed's, to me now, weed is definitely not the same thing it was when I was 17. It's definitely become a medicinal state. Don't get me wrong. I use it recreationally. I'm in Texas. There is no medicinal. Yeah. I think about that. What if I didn't smoke weed? And there's times where I'll take a week or two off of drinking, smoking, just to try to get that clarity. There's at least 2 or 3 days where I really do go crazy. It's like, I have to accept, like, holy fuck. Like, like my brain's fucking crazy. I need to smoke.
I was just showing her, instead of turning her into a different type of...
All I was getting at is if I didn't smoke, I would probably be on pills right now. Probably be on Klonopin, which is what they tried to give me last time. Pills. Fucking that shit doesn't work for Tourette's. They try to treat Tourette's like it's anxiety. That shit doesn't work. The tics still fire off even if you're calm.
Reactions. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's a chemical imbalance. It fills your receptors. It doesn't fill
It's just a different neurotransmitter.
Just Tourette's in general is a chemical imbalance, man, that allows your brain to fire without being told to fire, and it's really fucked. You need a lot of trouble sometimes. Walmart.
My kid wants to know about the Tourette's tics, sort of.
Well, don't watch Deuce Bigelow, man. They portrayed it in a hilarious but wrong way.
Don't tell him to watch that. Good thing he's 12. I can give him a hard time about that. But
Anything in the movies handling psychological disorders or things like that are horrible things to even bring
Examples.
up as examples because they are not portrayed correctly, and therefore you are
It's
using that
100%
platform as
stereotype.
information.
Yeah.
And that there is just it annoys the hell out of me. Especially what was it? What's his face? Who did the young what is it? When they did the X-Men, he played someone who had DID. And he,
What is
even though he's
DID?
a great actor, method actor, that has nothing to do with DID. All
What is DID?
slightly.
I'm sorry, I'm not being ignorant. I
DID
just don't know.
is the new term for multiple personalities disorder. DID stands for dissociative identity disorder.
Why'd they change it?
Updating terms, like how they
Okay.
do in
All right.
medical books.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
DID is where you have the host and a system. System meaning you have multiple personalities, alts on and so forth. And watching, not necessarily watching it, I refuse to because I have friends in the community who have those disorders, and they feel like they're
Right.
not seen, and it's like, oh, it's Hollywood. I'm like, no, dude, Hollywood does horrible sets of examples for things.
Oh man, so you just got my gears turning with what you said. And would it almost be like a little bit logical to think that modern society creates a multi-personal personality within people in general?
Well, because it
Mind you,
goes,
I'm not.
yes, it does. You bring up a great thing. It's multiple personality disorder can happen when you have something traumatic happen. And because we are children who tend to happen, things are young, we have this wide, vast imagination to be tapping into. Thus, where this could be happening, that your brain would automatically shut down, do the whole reboot of the computer, and
Right.
start back up, and make you
So
and suppress it
think
to the point where you don't even remember it happening, and then
I think
something else happens to trigger, and then therefore, well, you open Pandora's box, basically.
so ultimately, I guess kind of what I'm thinking of is like everybody like in a certain setting will act a different way than a different setting. Like if we're at a wedding, you're not gonna act the same as a 12-year-old's birthday or
Well,
fucking
think
whatever.
about it
Like
this way: everybody gets different versions of you, who you hang out with and who you associate and be a social butterfly with. Not everybody gets
I
the same version of you.
and I'm not arguing with you. I'm really just kind of making a statement on my own kind of perspective of what
Oh yeah,
I'm running through my brain right now is that
yeah.
all of us have multi personalities. I think what makes someone with a multi personality disorder different is that they have absolutely no control over when that personality engages. Where we may be
Oh,
this
absolutely.
person at this event and a different one at another, that person is going to do a flip switch and be whatever person their brain calls them to be at that. Because we're forced to be multi personality. Listen, when I go to my daughter's volleyball practices, I am not the same person that I am when I talk to y'all on Discord.
We're
Like,
multi-dimensional beings, my dear.
wouldn't that be multi personality though?
No, multi-personality has to do with your personality. Being multi-dimensional beings is your being itself. Being and personality are two different things.
I guess I'm sorry. And just so you know, I'm really doing some devil's advocate, just testing and stretching to see where it goes. Like, like when I come on Discord on a Wednesday, I expect to discuss some serious material, some things that are going to be kind of more touching to home, not something we're going to joke.
But all
If
of
I
this has to do with everything of the mental, because all of it is a disease, a disorder, some sort that is not of the norm.
right,
And whether it be
if I
not of
come
the
here
norm,
on a
it's a different
Friday,
set of eyes to look at the world in, distorted or not.
if I come here on a Friday, I can talk about flopping wieners and doing, all that weird stuff. Like we could just bullshit a bunch of dumb, random internet troll stuff, and it would be acceptable because it's not Wednesday. So who I am on Wednesday is not going to be the same person you talk to on
who you
Would
are.
that
Exactly, because there's
should that
different
not
ways to
be
act,
a
different strokes for different folks, basically. There's a time
well,
for
it's
this,
fair
a
to
time
say
for
we are all multi personalities. That's almost part of being a personality is you're not set in stone. You can always change. You can always be
no,
different. You can
no, no,
adapt.
no. I'm going to correct you on that. It's not being able multifaceted. You're thinking of that, not multi personalities. You're multifaceted. You have different. I
Following
would say
interests rather than who you are directly. It's more
yes,
along what you're turned on
yes,
to at the moment. Yeah, I get that. All
yes,
right, that makes
yes.
sense.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Again, I love the tests and twists. That's how you learn, right? You can only repeat the same shit over and over. Like, love this shit. Not you directly. I say you as a general term, by the way. A lot of people, I get heat for that. Be like, you fucking day. They're like, what the fuck? Why you? Not at all.
It's how you have to
I,
set your tone when you're talking to somebody. When they say that you're saying as a generalization and an example.
right.
You have certain body languages that if people are not paying attention to, they're going to find it offended because they miss something. It's technically like a misfire, misdirection, miscommunication.
Right.
A lot
I
of
get
missing.
that a lot. That's something I deal with regularly is that I have a problem with assuming that people I speak to in real life will share the same level of sarcasm or just understand where I'm going with something. I'm not good at being serious. I feel like being serious is overrated. Like why not have fun? Even if it's something tiny and little like a
I mean,
conversation.
yeah, you can, but like I said, there's a time and place for everything for that. There is a time to place to be fun.
Don't crack jokes at the funeral. But if I'm at the bar, I don't want to talk about the end of the world. Like yeah, I don't know. Well, ultimately, my beer to weed ratio is a little off, so I'm gonna go smoke a bowl real quick outside because my 13-year-old will know what it smells like as soon as it enters the vents, and I will return. Yeah.
On that note,
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's been really interesting.
Fucking SK.
It's been very interesting. I appreciate everyone sharing.
it's lit
Um,
tonight.
Yeah,
I'm tired as fuck.
absolutely. I'm right there. I got a long night ahead of me. I got a lot of cleaning still. Um,
Woo, cleaning.
but all the holes are patched. Everything's all cleaned up now, so that's pretty cool.
The
I was
whole
thinking about coming over on Friday.
Pop out.
Okay.
Never mind. Never mind. I'm tired. Leave me alone.
I just want
I'm
to
like
know what's in your head now.
fumes. This as much as I'm running on fumes.
Go to bed, Mars. It's for your mental health.
Y'all are my mental health. Shut the fuck up. Y'all get to deal with this. No. But no.
Been interesting, guys.
But no.
Can I just say that I've never had a Friendsgiving and I think it's fucking amazing because I'm so excited and it's a really great thing for my mental health.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. No cap.
No, for real. Like I've never felt included or been invited to shit like that. So I'm super fucking stoked.
Friendsgiving is something that I love closely because I started it before Born Evil, and we've had a lot of time collectively, the guys I started it with, and friends, and everybody to uh, build together and grow and learn each
To honor the
other.
tradition.
So it's like this year started early, and you never know, you never know how many people are gonna be down, but it's like there's a lot of people this year, and it's like I even uh, let JQ make amends with me, and be, we although we weren't beefing, we just weren't talking, so it's even stuff like that, so that him and his new girlfriend can come out and chill, and everyone can come and visit. Like the whole place is gonna be fucking packed. It's gonna feel like the club over here, except for there's gonna be turkey and puppies.
Therapy.
So, what is our list so far?
Emily is gonna go shopping tomorrow. But real quick, I'm gonna actually end tonight's mental health. I appreciate everybody that's been streaming and watching us tonight. You can catch us on Monday for Metaphysical Monday. There will not be a Free Flow Friday this week. And Sunday, we are shooting at Drip Expo. So, won't be live. You will catch some live streams, but we will be at Drip Expo collectively. Don't be surprised if I do a little live during Friendsgiving to say what up, let you see all the homies on the YouTube. But either way, appreciate y'all times a million. We'll catch you here on Monday. Let's get the fucking vibes going.